So I'm going to discuss thinning edges and how to prevent them and how to restore your edges once they've already started thinning. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of practical things you can do on a styling end, and then I'm going to recommend a couple of products that you can use that can help prevent and or restore thinning edges. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is styling options. You want to make sure that you minimize buns and ponytails, because anything pulling the hair away from the face can cause tension on the edges. So you want to minimize and limit the amount of times that you put a bun in or that you put a ponytail in. And you want to make sure that when you do it, you don't tie it too tight. So you want to make sure you use a good size like ponytail wrap or a ponytail holder. If you need a larger one, use a larger one. Whatever it is that you need to make sure that the tension on your edges is not great. Second thing I want to mention is wigs and weaves. Now, I don't sew in a weave and I don't sew in wigs. That's a personal choice, and I made that choice based on the fact that I am paranoid about losing my edges, and that's just what I decided to do to help prevent my edges from thinning. So you kind of want to minimize sewing any hair along the hairline. You also want to make sure that if you wear a wig, all your clips fit comfortably, that they don't tug or pull at your hair, the combs aren't snagging your hair. You want to make sure that you're giving extra care to your hairline, and you want to really limit the amount of times that you choose that kind of styling. I would recommend using a wig that you can take off every night. Also clip-ins, those are also great options for not causing stress to the hairline. So if you wear a wig that you take off at night, it gives you the opportunity to treat your hair. It gives you the opportunity to add oil, to spritz it with water. I like to use water and aloe vera gel mixed together on my hair to refresh it or to just simply add moisture. Oils help to get in there and massage your scalp and promote growth. So I would highly recommend using something that's not sewn in or wearing something that just comes right off. And then if you're going to have leave out due to a weave, you want to make sure that you're really treating the front of your hair, because you can get heat damage from flat ironing if you're wearing a straight style, or if you're not like detangling your hair properly, if you're wearing a curly wig or anything like that. You just want to make sure you pay special attention to the front of your hair. And I'll tell you guys later on in the video about the different oils you can use that do indeed help kind of prevent any edge hair loss. The next thing I want to discuss is glue. Don't use it. Braids and micro braids. So when I was in high school, I wore micro braids, and I remember putting my head down on the desk and then lifting up and my hair snapping from the edges. And after that, I never wore micro braids. And so I would caution you, don't wear micro braids, especially if you're worried about thinning edges or you already have thinning edges. Kind of stay away from braids altogether. Stay away from twists altogether, unless it's your own hair being twisted. But adding in hair also adds weight, and that weight weighs down on your hair and actually causes stress on your hair follicles. So you want to make sure you're not adding any extra stress to your hairline. So try to avoid micro braids. If you're installing thicker braids or box braids, make sure whoever's installing the braids, you communicate to them that you don't want small pieces within a braid, because if the hair has a little more to hold on to, the tension won't be as great. So that should be able to help. If you like wearing braids, that's an alternative that you can do, is make sure the braids are fatter along the hairline. Combing your edges. I see a lot of people on YouTube, when they're styling, they lay down their edges or baby hairs with gel, and then they take like a toothbrush or a bristle brush or a comb to it. And I would suggest not doing that. Like I said, it causes stress. Any kind of tool that's ripping through the hair will eventually damage and weaken the follicle, and that follicle will eventually fall out or break. So what I would suggest doing is using your hands. Your hands are some of the best tools you can have. Make sure that your nails are filed so that you don't have any snagging in your hair. But you want to make sure to just take the gel or any edge control. I like Eco Styler and Hicks, and I just lay it down. Move down the edges with your hands and add a scarf and just tie it down and wait about 10, 15, 20 minutes and remove the scarf, and your edges should lay down quite nicely. You shouldn't have to really use any tools to lay down your edges. Like I said, eventually you're going to be ripping away at the follicles and you may lose some of your edges that way. So those are all the styling tips that I have as far as things that you can do to help prevent thinning edges, or if your edges have already started thinning out, those are things that you can do in your routine to help stop the breakage on your hairline. So now I'm going to discuss the things that you can put in your hair to help prevent thinning edges and or restore your thinning edges. First thing I want to talk about is emu oil. Now, I discussed emu oil in a previous video. I did a product review for the pomade shop, and I had purchased a pomade from them that had emu oil as well as coffee. And emu oil is highly penetrating, and it's particularly good for restoring the hairline. So I will put a link to that video somewhere in this video or in the description box for you all, and you guys can check it out and you can learn more about emu oil and how highly penetrating it is, how it helps to regrow and stimulate growth along the hairline and generally all over your head. But the coffee and the emu oil in that product works very well for restoring the hairline. So emu oil is a very good thing to use. Neem oil. Now, I got this neem oil from India. I had a friend that was traveling and I gave him a list of things that I wanted back from India. So I got like a bunch of henna and things like that from India. And if you're interested in a good henna video, I'll also put a link to that in the description box for you guys. But he brought me back neem oil, and the funny thing is I really didn't ask for the neem oil. It's just he went shopping and the person that took him recommended neem oil, and it's good for your skin and things like that. And my sister did a little investigation and found out that it's very good for your hair and helping to regrow your hair, stop breakage, and restore your hair. And I had bottles of these things sitting in a cabinet and I had no idea what it was good for. So now that I know, been applying this to my hairline. I've been applying it all over my scalp just to help promote hair growth. So neem oil is something that you can use. I'll leave the name of the brand. I'm sure you can probably find it online, but any Indian grocery store should have some neem oil for you to purchase. All the oils I'm going to mention are very light and help to penetrate the scalp and the hair shaft, so they won't clog up your scalp or your pores or anything. They won't clog anything up, which is great because that's the last thing you need when you're trying to regrow hair. So it adds in the oil and it penetrates quickly, so that way it leaves the scalp open so that there's no real buildup or a clogging of the scalp. Neem oil. Next, another really good thing to use for thinning edges is castor oil. Now, I like using Jamaican black castor oil. You can use regular castor oil that comes pretty clear, but I just like using the Jamaican black castor oil. Normally, my friend's mom tends to bring it back like a fresh batch from Jamaica for me, but I don't have any more right now. So when I don't have what she brings me back from Jamaica, I usually use the Tropic Isle Living brand. And castor oil works really well, and one of the first times I really heard about castor oil use for regrowing hair was actually at the salon that I get my eyebrows threaded. And they sell castor oil and they promote it for women with thin eyebrows who want to grow in hair on their eyebrows, and they just recommend massaging the castor oil on their eyebrows to help regrow it. So castor oil is really great for that, and I think it's also great for slicking down your edges. This is something else that I like to use. Just put a little on your hands and because it's kind of thick, even though it penetrates pretty quickly. It's kind of thick, so, and it gives you a nice shine. So I like to put it on my edges and do the same thing. Take a scarf and tie it down for 10, 15, 20 minutes and take it off, and you have nice, smooth, shiny edges. So black castor oil is another great thing you can use to help restore or prevent thinning edges. Last but not least is a product that I like. I don't have it on me right now, but I will put a picture in here for you guys, and I'll try to find a link where you can purchase it. But I originally found this product when I had breakage in my hair when I was living in Maryland, and I found it at a store in DC. It's called Virgin Fertilizer. I think it's Virgin Fertilizer or Virgin Hair Fertilizer, and that works really well. It stinks, as do most of these things I mentioned today, except for the pomade shop. That doesn't stink. But the neem oil, the castor oil, and the virgin hair fertilizer kind of has a little smell to it, but it works. That virgin fertilizer thing, it is amazing. Comes in like a tube like toothpaste. It's amazing. It helped me regrow my hair when I had breakage. It works well on the hairline, and you don't need a lot. It lasts for a very long time. A little bit goes a long way, which is something else that I love about that product, because you don't really have to use a heavy amount. So those are the 4 things I would honestly recommend to help bring back your thinning edges, or if you're scared of having thinning edges and you're doing different styles like buns or ponytails, wigs, weaves, clip-ins, and you're just braids and you're worried about your edges thinning and you don't want to experience that. All these things you can use to help prevent thinning edges, and I found that they've worked really well for me. Like I said, I wear wigs and weaves and I have yet to have a problem with my hairline, and it's just taking precautionary measures. Remember to massage your edges with any of these products, and in general, just massage your edges. Make sure that you're stimulating blood flow and making sure that you're getting everything that you need to your hairline. All that blood flow is really, really helpful in regenerating the hair and helping it to grow. And so I think that's it, guys. That's what I have to offer you guys. I really hope this helps. If you guys like videos that are informational like this, leave a comment. If you have any questions about edges or anything that I mentioned today, please leave a question and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as I can. And if you like videos like this, thumbs up, let me know. I'll do more videos like this. Feel free to ask your questions and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.